Good morning. Or whatever it is, wherever you are. I think the main thing for this is just try and get it in initial publishable shape, which with the repo listed now means we need a README. And I might think of other things as I go through that. Yeah, nothing currently. So right now it's just Hades boons. So there's this title. And that might also be in document. Actually, we should already have some of these. So I had a problem here before when it was like Supergiant Games Hades. I was like, well, there's no point in separating that. If we did... Okay, I'm getting confused. That's where that worked before. In Hades by... Wait, this is Markdown. I think that would actually work. But this lets us... is it Hades? Yes. Hades by... We can actually get those in there. And actually, isn't there... Isn't there like a metadata thing? Meta descriptions? This doesn't have the technical part, though. Meta name equals description. And this is self-closing. So things we might want to put in here. I don't know, showing, oops. Something like that. Right now, there's like no keyboard controls. These are buttons, these are buttons, these are buttons. Oh, there's a whole thing about if I want to add help text, which is going to be its own thing. I don't know if there's a whole lot you need for the chart itself. And no doubt there'll be questions, and then I'll tell me what needs to be documented. Let's go straight into development. Let's see. So this is, well, I guess there's some data extraction in other languages. Markdown. I think the Ruby things ended up just being okay, so that was a little exploration script. These just ended up being shell scripts pretty much. We can reiterate this stuff. Let's see, we've already linked to both of these above. Alright, you're like doing active stuff that's distracting. Written in Elm. Do we have anything else? Reactor only won't work if you're directly serving DXF files. Not work as a dev web server. I might have to look at other projects for this. No, you're to do. Okay, so building development. Yeah, this might have been copied from something else. Elm really doesn't. Or, maybe in this project it did. Oh, we also did, a few icons. No, the sorry says God and Boon icons. So built in. This kind of works. True, there's the build command. Which does this. And then there's and then we have the server note. Oh. Actually, I think I only have shell versions right now. Dev tools to disable caching. Is it a Python server? Yeah. Let's see. So, God layouts. Is it just QCAD? Well, it's a file format that requires that supports annotations, I think. And I think they're also in like a. It might actually be like a QCAD extension field. Well, it's something 1,000. So this might say, oh, hey, this is the QCAD extension. Oh, this doesn't even get to. This doesn't even get to data extraction. Um, Data extraction was a pretty custom setup. Bin dump. Elmlang. Elm is, well, actually, we had it up earlier. Elm is a, where'd you start? A pure functional immutable data, strongly typed language. I guess you'd probably put it in like the ML tradition, hence the name that has those letters in it. It compiles to JavaScript for use on the web. It is targeted to have a fairly small language. so you don't get into a lot of, obscure corners, and to compile with good error messages so you can understand what's going on. Functional compiled JavaScript, yeah. One of the goals with it being heavily static is that there's hardly any runtime errors. I think there's been a couple people who've tinkered with it, but nothing that's really gotten to full production status. So the Ruby was just actually Hades. Okay, so that was the original dot thing, which did a little bit more here. Using Lua command line, are you gonna be like lua.org? Lua command line and a little bit of Ruby glue code. Okay, so you're actually in a proc. Oh, that's in the proc folder. If you're interested in the complete picture, that's where to look, and that's more of a figure it out thing. So that's why we need Lua 54. I get paid to do it, so I guess so. It does seem like pretty much all the... I mean, I've done a lot of stuff over time. It does seem like most of it's been web lately, just because it's usable on every system, so that's kind of nice. Nice. Find something you want to make and try to make it. That will give you a series of problems to solve. You'll have to kind of figure out one bit, solve that, find the next problem, solve that, find the next problem, solve that. Digit recognition. Okay, well, if it's if you've got the code there. Now, is this prediction confidence? Okay. I guess this is the reference image. Well, okay. I see what I got there. So is this something you want to build something like this? Is this something you well, this is the working one, so if it's yours, you've built it. Okay, yes, I think I could. Oh no, there is a little bit of drift because it felt like I kept going off the bottom. Can I design this front? Mm, it's one of the things with not having a lot of exceptions is you have a very firewalled interface with JavaScript. So the stuff that interfaces with the neural network is probably going to be, I mean, unless it's a pure web service, we could probably do. You're gonna have to go through a asynchronous messaging thing for ports. Yeah, what I'm talking about is like if I up here, the white line is pretty close. If I'm down here, there's a lot of separation between the cursor and the point it's drawing. So there's a little bit of coordinate stuff going on here. I did a lot of fighting with that type of stuff, getting this thing working. But yeah, I mean, and this isn't interactive drawing, but there's no reason. I mean, that's this is on. I'm gonna guess this is Canvas. This is Canvas. I don't see any reason you couldn't do that. I mean, all the neural network stuff is probably is going to be JavaScript. You're going to want to use the existing libraries. That would be quite a project to re-roll that. I don't. Honestly, it might not even be that performant. Elm can do okay, but it's still doing. The functional model is still the immutable functional model. So we'll be doing a lot of memory allocation to create new values. So for really high performance stuff, it might not be it. Well, I do a bunch of stuff with it. I don't know a whole lot of the things offhand. I know, what is it? No Red Ink is an education company that does like homework assistance and grading software. They're one of the big ones. I don't know if they've got a reference. Rakuten, Yodel.io. Equinier. Panada. Yeah, I have a couple now and then. Looks like they don't have a particular used at thing. I've been on there. I've currently got a kind of a long-term thing going, so I haven't been active lately. Oh, I've done both. I guess I've been doing a lot more front-end stuff lately. The maintenance and security aspect of back-end is kind of scary. But I've got servers like this thing has a small server. I mean, like this is mostly static data, but if we go into the life query, then that wakes up a server because it's sleeping most of the time, and it's a big database. But this stuff has a lightweight server on it because you can do a bunch of different parameters. We can do different time ranges and different servers. So there's a whole bunch of querying that has to get managed there. And do you even have this time range? You might not really have this time range. Well, I mean, it depends on the job. I mean, this is an Elm front end with a lot of stuff handled by these off-the-shelf leaflet JavaScript library. Backend is in Rails. The current job I'm on is its own JavaScript thing. It's not a stock web framework. There's a little bit of RxJS in it. You don't do a whole lot directly with that system, though. We just kind of use the things built on top of it. I've mostly been doing AWS and Heroku so far. I haven't really gotten anything big enough for that to be a big issue. Well, the database for the map did get big enough to outgrow the basic Heroku databases, so that was a whole project. Currently, it's on AWS. Didn't quite meet the cloud database thing, so it does have to be a dedicated instance. If I write HTML, CSS, JS, how do you connect with backend? Well, depends a little bit on what you want to do. Python neural network. Yeah, I don't know how that digit thing is working. If that is getting some data into JavaScript and running it there, or if that is talking to a backend service. Okay, so this is a link to you in general. Digit recognition web app. There's an image classification. Digit recognition web app. Oh, so JS, so I guess, okay, so KRS, we'd have to look up what that is. TensorFlow.js, hosted on GitHub pages. Now, I don't know, do we have the link for it here? For JavaScript developers, develop models in JavaScript directly in browser. Okay. So I guess that they prepared a model and actually ship it in the browser. So that's just, you're going to call functions, I guess. Ah, okay. Well, I mean, you could set up a web server and just have it answer calls. Now, C++ is not a common language for web applications. And I'm sure you can do that. I guess the concern there is that a web server is necessarily dealing with, untrusted outside data. And C++ is somewhat notorious for buffer overruns and things, so you have to start being really careful about your input validation. And I don't know enough about TensorFlow to say if that's the kind of thing that would be worth shelling out to. You have a web setup that would like call out to something and then get the results back. That might be something where you'd want to do some research about if anyone else has tried to use that C++ side on a web service. And if they TensorFlow serving for AI. Okay, well, there's Intel article on a web server with Flask. Python or JavaScript? Well, Python has web servers. TensorFlow server. Deploying TensorFlow models to the web. Well, that might just be JS. But yeah, there's stuff out there you can find. Calling Python some. And should I assume that, 1, 2, 3 is actually, like thousands or so elements? Because if that's all front end JavaScript data, so there's also Node, which is its own thing. Yeah. I mean, you can probably get JavaScript libraries that would give you, some array type operations. But is that also just an example of a Python function you want to call? And actually you want to call much more complicated things. That was just an example of a Python function you want to call? Unfortunately, with the communication delay, it's kind of hard to tell when you say, I agree, yes. Okay. So if you want to be calling arbitrary Python functions, you probably want to do a Python web server. And so something like, this would be one lead Flask is a Python web server I've heard of. I've not done a lot of Python myself, so I'm not the best person to ask about that. But if you look around, so typically what you would end up with is, I don't know if this will actually say much. Yeah, they're in the details of how to do that. You'll have a request. So, web server gets a request, get, put, etc. So like on the map, we request, well, actually. So if we go into here, we didn't capture any of the stuff from setup here, but if we just do that, oh, I need to have network open. So that's still queuing. So this is a get request. And in this case, we're going to have a whole lot of data. In your case, you have a lot of data, so it would probably have to be like a put or something. There might be a limit on how big URL-based stuff could go. But that's all things you can do. You can do it directly with JavaScript. You could do a jQuery or something else to have a library to help with those types of requests. Elm probably can do big put requests, although if you're dealing with large data like that, you might want to be dealing with like typed arrays, which I don't think is well supported in Elm. But we said, hey, we want some data. My server got, more or less get blah, 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 blah. And in Ruby, the Ruby framework I'm using sort of translated this for you, so it's a little bit nicer. Python's going to be very similar. That's going to be like the lives controller. Yeah, so we just have index is like your basic root. So Rails translates those paths a little bit. So it gives you a params thing. So like all of this stuff will get translated into params. And I've got like a helper object that does the translation. Front end domain name different from server's domain name. Yes. The front end is being served off of Amazon well, technically the CloudFront CDN. So that just does pure static files. And then Heroku is the data server. And I probably could do something that would be like, server.onemap.oneable.com or something, but this is a back-end detail. Nobody really needs to care about it. We're not dealing with any real cookies or security-sensitive data that would trip up any of the cross-domain stuff. Yeah, so one of the issues with this is some of the data set. There's this data stuff, particularly if these actually all of the map data. This is tiled data, and I don't have a good visualization of that. I don't know if Leaflet would have anything that explained that concept better. Zoom levels. So you can actually you can kind of see. We got a bigger one here. Yeah, chopping up into tiles. Yeah. So you start off with a like one image. As you zoom in, you get lots more and more and more and more smaller images. Hey. You're welcome. So one of the main reasons I wanted to do CDN for this is because when you start, you know, going through all of this, this is all these like activity maps and all of the map data. It's all tiled data. So there's basically lots and lots and lots of files. I wanted something that could handle serving lots and lots and lots of files to potentially multiple people at once. That's one of the reasons. That's the main reason I kind of did a CDN thing for this, because it's a whole lot of static data. If you've got something more like this, you load a couple of files up front, and then that part of it is going to be as big as long as you're not getting a huge traffic. What I'm making is I don't know if you're familiar with Hades. But I found myself struggling to understand all of the connections between the different boons. And in doing this project, I found some limits to that in terms of the utility of this. I think if I did go ahead and make a mod version, I would just focus on what does a boon make available and what does it make unavailable. And maybe try to get that into like the selection screen or something. Not much. I've had to do a little bit of editing on PHP stuff in the current project. Yeah, so this project is approaching a point where hopefully, if I put it out there, the commentary would not be focused on things that I know are already obviously broken. That may still be some of that. So I'm trying to get things in shape to be published, and maybe try to mention it on Hades Discord or something. See if I get any useful feedback. All right. I'm trying to wrap this up. I don't know if I need to say anything about usage. Hopefully there's nothing that's actually hard to use. So we've got the basic description, we've got the art reference, game data, Also, you know what? This is English text. SVG is fine. Hades Boons is fine. DXF is fine. File system. Sure, you could separate that. You don't need to. All right, so that is a basic README. Very, very basic. But we just need some, we just kind of need something there. I guess I didn't do a folder breakdown, and that's not too bad to do exploratory. So notes are mainly for me. They can almost go into work directory. I think I actually had, I had that open. Okay, so there's you. Actually, isn't there like a, no, it wasn't that one. LS? Guess so. So, yes. No. Oh, no, that might actually be file ls? No. Buffer one? Yeah, close that. Git move. Okay, so we need that package. What did we use package for? Oh, okay. So yeah, that could maybe use a comment. So that has no dependencies. It's just that probably Node wanted a package file. Or maybe I thought there would be dependencies. Let's see. I think the build script. README. Layouts are compiled to Elm. Okay, good. This step requires, well, uses requires. What is your Node.js.org? One from DXF with a small code change. And actually, this is something I do kind of want to rewrite. It doesn't need to be rewritten right away. But being able to pull out, because I think I could actually pull out HTTP support from the final build. If I completely encapsulate that in like a live load module or something. Okay, so that's not a checked in directory. Yeah, package, output, PyCache, Elm stuff, compiled file, generated files. Now generated, I guess there could be a bit of an argument for that one. We've got all the code to generate it. And then for publishing, we'll have to get that stuff. No doubt I'll think of more things as I go to do this. We should only have to publish that. Oh, that's the other thing. We use a fork. And this is actually a branch. Uses, let's do, to have a better link, a fork with group support of, let's go to standard package. uses a local what you need to know. Oh. Joe can canvas. Might run across more stuff when I have to try to get the web file set up. I could probably start just removing stuff from here too. Let's see. We did figure out scale. That's still a useful reference. This is still a useful reference. That's a reference. That's just done. That's all reference stuff. This is all like optimization. Uncertain about that. So this stuff might get at least looked at. What would do the duo frame for this step? Rather than just available. Otherwise, I'm afraid it would stick out too much. So where do we deal with frames? Oh, yes. It's the canvas boon chart. Okay, common primary. You're in GUI screens, boon icon frames. I might want to do legendary too. Okay, so make sure that's available. Active, available, excluded, unavailable. Do we even know if it's a duo? I think we passed a different size for it. Direct slot reference keepsake. We've got a boon. This is boon, which probably can boon chart. Boon. Name icon. That is icon type. Does that mean I have to make you a different icon? So we've got direct slot reference keepsake. So we either need a new factor for that or have to make that a different icon type. How often do we use that? There's an equals. Right now we use that twice. So that would be an extra check beyond status. Icon type equals direct. And we can easily lay out duo boon, so that would be an easy thing to change. Duo reference boons. That's probably these. Oh, color equals duo boon color. Oh, that's these. That's these boys. So those don't, Now you see, if I did that there, then I couldn't use a duo frame for this. So if you're doing size, size isn't going to be any different. It's going to depend on that. This is... Would this actually become keepsake? Are keepsakes displayed a different size? No. So maybe it's like keepsake duo standard. What do we... It's got a... So that's by slot. I don't currently do anything else slot-based. And... we had basic boon and duo boon. So we've been treating keepsake as a slot, but that is almost a different type of thing. But I have been kind of having to fake this for keepsakes. And keepsakes like shouldn't even be participating in that system. They just kind of end up that way. Now, of course, this is just this end. This actually has to get translated into something else for boon chart. Because in order you are, well, we were thinking of translating keepsake into there. Would we just say boon type there? That would encode duo. It would be carrying around extra information we don't necessarily need. But I have sometimes wanted to know which god something is. And we've kind of always been able to figure it out. All right, so at the trait level, this is going to deal with our encoded data. So for temporary development purposes, we need to go back to here. So that we don't have pre-encoded data. Traits. Boon type. And this actually is experimental, so this might just mess things up a lot. And I don't think we care about actually which type of god this is. That might be a name collision. We're going to have a bunch of cases to fix up, though. Okay, so this is find boon type. And then that is the group, which is a different thing. Just keepsake. You're just going to ignore this. Okay, it's boon type. Traits.elm again. Oop. Is basic boon. These would have been basic boons before, but I don't. What do I use you for? Basic boons of God. Yeah, you're going to be in that list. Is duo boon. Now, maybe I should actually be doing like his keepsake or something. Traits.elm 439. Basic boon, duo boon. So this is in this. You're probably just going to leave this alone. Technically, those used to affect it, but... And this was group. Boon type, group. Oh, boon type. I guess actually we would just keep it as a keepsake. This is a boon chart. A basic boon. So calculate duo. Well, these are duos. Thank you. Layout basic boons. You are doing colors. Oh. I was using that. To get that color. I mean, I guess I could just do a keepsake color. And what would a keepsake color be? I mean, probably kind of a gold. Now, doable one color we referenced twice, but eh. All right, keepsake color 255. 236, 210, 104. No, this does cover everything. Keepsake. Layout duo boon. Ooh. It's like, this should only include those, but I just don't have anybody. Okay, fine, pick one. Yeah, we don't have a complete punt. I mean, I guess Hades or Nyx. Be your kind of punts. Ooh, okay, wait. Boon chart. 525. Oh, do we have... Yeah. Okay, so we're thinking of moving this out of here. But you probably overwrote that. Well, actually, no, we can. So where are you complaining? 525. And also here. And that's the local one, so I can't modular qualify that one. And then 200 in canvas. Let's see, so you are boon chart? Boon chart.keepsake. You're 200. Okay, so we're able to compile with that. That's going to change did end up changing our colors a little bit. Or not. Maybe I didn't end up using color for that. Canva.alpha brightness, image. Less than display size. Oh. Yeah, this is just everything in the God is that. Well, no, references. Huh. Okay. All right, so we swapped that out, and we wanted to change certain detections. So that's icon type. And that kind of is an icon type, but we wanted to say that this is... Oh, we don't have boon type in there, do we? Oh, did I copy this from somewhere? And I might need this back, but... All right, so what do we want to take that over from? Traits. We added a keepsake type to you. Oh, right, there was something with duos. Actually. Right, because I want these reference things to be able to know that they're keepsakes. And that needs a separate dimension. From this. So we want to be able to do stuff with so traits.keepsake, 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 keepsake. Did we hit boon? So this would go back to being a direct reference if it had that ability to remember that somewhere. I think we're just going to go ahead and put boon type in there. Because we need to know duo, and it's like that would kind of be at the same level. So this was translated to display information, but we have to handle both direct and reference, and then duos need to have both variations of that. Unless we have like a duo primary and duo reference type. All right, that's going to break all the things. Looks like the boon type field is missing. Wait. Oh. What are you then? Yeah, you're not of any god. I mean, icon type slot might end up trumping that. Oh, no, actually. Canvas. Actually, this ends up that trumps a lot of stuff. So right now we've got direct boon reference. We've got, well, direct boon. We've got these sort of non-primary references, of which these things we're trying to get a duo frame on are members. We've got these, which get displayed differently, but they're more or less direct references. So and then basically slot references. So do I have to do duo direct and duo reference? Do I not make the references duos? Well, even if you're zoomed in. You'd want to see the duo on that. We could have a separate thing for frame. But right now, I don't think frame depends in any way. Yeah, it's just an active status, and then it's when active we would switch. Well, I do want to put legendary in here, and that's not something that's going to be a boon type. So maybe we just need to have a frame thing. All right, so we extended keepsake to boon type. That might be okay. It's technically not basic and it's technically not duo. The boon chart doesn't need that. And the problem we ran into was the slots. They are not duos, keepsakes, or basics, and I don't know if I want to deal with slot as a boon type. Because that would go all the way back to traits, and then this is kind of like a chart artifact here. One of the things I was looking at is we have icon type. Which is direct slot reference keepsake. I was thinking we want to get keepsake out of here. Now there's one test that overrides things if that field happens to be frame that overrides that. Instead of icon type, that might be okay. We just kind of want it to be orthogonal to direct reference because we have both versions of these duo boons with their custom frames. Now, this is awkward because I've already got a thing called boon. I think we can actually slip that because one's a type and one's not. Or maybe these should just have frames. Oh, our sidebar had some frame stuff already. So I think this was primary. Common is what we're using for most things. Keepsake, I might actually have met upgrade. Tray is the... No, actually, this is tray. What was primary? Oh, that's like this thing. Or this is tray. Maybe this is primary. And that could have a name collision with the other duo. File defines, yeah. So until we can remove that, no, I guess maybe I should actually do this. Since that's the one that's going to be going out, when we find any other keepsake collisions. Traits.keepsake, traits.keepsake, traits.keepsake. I guess we're still going to have that. That should be icon instead. All right, so boon chart, 494. All right, and then canvas. And this actually deconfuses that. And these are all going to change anyway. Okay, that's compilable. No, that's view. Boon. We are in boon chart. Frame. Which could really just be frame, I guess. All right, icon type equals frame. We do these for duo boons, yes. Frame equals duo. Frame equals duo. And keepsake, so this... Did I have a keepsake frame for this? We're gonna be removing icon type. So this kind of moves down here. Which will temporarily break some stuff. Well, I guess we can keep that there for the time being. I forgot to change that, didn't I? And then all the references. Oh, no, frame. The append call produces. So we missed some. Maybe we didn't finish doing icon type equals. Oh, do you have that frame? then? Because that would be the default. This is basic boons. I guess you could technically be a slot, couldn't you? Oh, you could be a boon type. Basic boons could include keepsakes. I mean, it shouldn't, but that's a frame type. Icon type equals slot. Nope. Oh, this is for the missing ones, which, sure, punt. Frame equals frame equals. We won't use that in our drawing yet. All right, so keepsake is one of the things. So we want to turn this into frame, which we haven't imported. Boon chart everything. You're not exported, though. So this was, which in itself might cause some issues. Oh, okay. Okay, so you're still looking good. And the other thing was we have a special frame for duos, which comes down to also get us into this area. And it really comes down to this. And technically, I'm not considering all frame types here. Boon icon frames, is it just duo? We do primary versus that. So you don't have references. And let's see, if we were to try and get prereqs for something. Okay, so still there. Doesn't highlight it as a duo, but in our current scheme, we don't use the full frame until we have it. All right, and that opens up, well, I have to do some code to detect legendaries. but that could be a frame type. Now, what we can do, I think, although this, once again, becomes kind of an experimental thing. Frame. Oh, right, and I have to compile this. I guess removing that field could be a compile thing too. Encode Elm. No, actually, this is boon chart. This might not affect our encoding. That's built out of these pieces. Okay. Duo frames. Now. Keepsake icon. So we're defining the data. Canvas. That's only affecting this. And that's the same as direct. So that makes this always direct. Hit. It's exactly the same as that. Well, if we never encode it, then that should be the same. Okay, display seems okay. Hit test seems okay. Now, where did we do keepsake? Okay, so you're fine. You might still have a name collision issue, because we did add it to here. Oh, you know what? There are probably places I can do this in constant data that I didn't actually do. This is boon chart. Boon chart just does type defines a keepsake frame. I mean, I guess this can technically be anything. Well, probably need to be after though. I might be able to switch this off of, if I have it as a type, I might be able to switch it off of type rather than, yeah, there's boon type. Yeah, still being displayed, so it's working out, it seems. I guess the thing I was thinking of checking is if it's locked out. Okay, those get specially drawn anyway. And then what I do have is I have some dummy data. And that is in traits. Slot. Do I use these to place them in their charts? This might be a separate step. Okay, so you're actually, well, technically the shout would be and then I ended up doing this into code. I thought it was decode. No, decode layout. There's generated. Yeah, so I thought we decoded it into there. Traits decode. Do I need this to get these into the group? No, actually that ended up in generated data. Even still colored. Case God tags. So this is putting them into the right group. Does calculation? Yeah, calculation seems to work out okay. Within those groups. There's one off builder, so let's just use the production build script. Yeah, so I started doing these white. But I never developed a way to draw exactly that image brighter. So that shows up light. This, unfortunately, doesn't follow that. Hard-coded keepsakes. I almost wonder if these aren't getting like overridden somewhere. But I'm actually using some of that as how it's displayed. Surprised the color hasn't changed. But it's getting the special display mode, so I guess it's okay. Eh. Oh, legendaries. So I don't currently have any explicit definition of a legendary right now. It would be a boon that has requirements that has requirements. Which is actually going to be a different thing in the trait data, isn't it? Icon name, slot. Keepsake is, Duo was already there. Keepsake is justifiably a different thing. Legendaries actually aren't that special. So we kind of need a whole separate flag for that. And I guess I could actually move frame up to here. Because it's either going to be frame. At which point we have keepsake collision. It can be like keepsake frame. Or, let's see, now, no, these wouldn't have legendary in them at all. You don't have any basic traits that are that. It'd either be kind of like a Boolean flag, or it would be, we kind of move frame up to here. Actually, I guess that is basic boon, duo boon. Oh. So in this classification, you should almost be keepsake boon, but you're not really a boon. All right, can we identify you? So we do stuff with requirements. Boon type from requirements. I mean, technically, I guess basic boon could be like legendary boon. It's just everywhere we dealt with single god, we'd have to deal with legendary boon. And this is what has no requirements. Boon type from group, one from each set. So what's the definition of legendary? I don't know if it's a boon type from requirements. Case requirements. It's a thing which has requirements whose requirements have requirements. So that's probably a one pass. Over all your requirements, do you have trait.requirements? And I've debated if I should do like a rare marker for things that have some kind of requirement that are e.g. not available right off the bat, and do that kind of frame. If I want to do that, then it really would be kinds of frames. And you could really be alphabetical too, I guess. Well, maybe I never did that with those. Common duo, keepsake. Legendary is the thing we're trying to do right now. Right, Neo, this only gets determined for icons. Let's see, duo falls out of duo boon status. So arguably we could do that during the process. I think legendary is not going to directly fall out of that process. Yeah, because this accumulates that into a boon type. Which, unless... Huh. Which might actually sort of fall out of that. If your requirements have a requirement? Oh, but this is from... boon type from group. Your god, god of set, set. Okay, so one of, pretty typical single god boon. It's actually almost a wonder, now that I think about it. Actually, I guess I default to single god if there's many. There's no single answer for this. So that's probably why it doesn't become duo. God of set, set. So boon type from group. Right, if it's many, we just default to that. Well, a legendary could be one of these, so that would not be sufficient there. So this goes empty, one, many. No, that's the set. It doesn't say anything about what the requirements of these things are, so that is different. We're going to have a name collision, though. It probably means it has to be like common frame, duo frame, keepsake frame. Unfortunately. I guess I was doing whole word on that. And then I think Canvas also cares about that. Only a little bit, though. Oh, and duo. Whole word, please. Okay, so it must be boon chart. Now, if this does become a trait property, then if I copy it, we might have collisions again. You can't export frame anymore. And you do explicit imports. And then canvas does explicit imports. I mean, everyone had boon type. And this is something that we did write out. So we're still going to have instances of this. Oh, actually, we still have some of the constant stuff. I guess that's our default. Oh, technically, what am I getting? How am I? Huh? I wonder how I'm doing this right now. Oh, probably by slot. But we could handle that there. Wait. No, boon type keepsake. You're doing boon type from requirements. So that's the upgrade. So frames will get picked up someplace else. So that's the constant data. Decode. I guess. Oh. Also this. These are both keepsakes. And for all the others, we're starting these out as basic boons. We're detecting duos later. So you're going to start out at that. Now we're not passing this data on yet. Actually, we're just kind of completely redetermining frames. Right, so we had passes that were determining duo frames, but boon chart is going to have to do this if we're determining that up here. So frame equals, you are duo boon, which should never be legendary, but you have a trait. So we should probably do that. This should be in data now. Now these things we're kind of making up. That has a trait. And it's going off boon type. Basic common duo keepsake. Color, well, we need the god from this, so still need to do that. And that is kind of a – That's something custom. That's a missing trait. Well, we've got a trait reference. Okay, you seem to be behaving well. You are not behaving well because we're not setting this in. Trait stud-elm? Well, that got messy. Although maybe frame should just be a different thing. Since legendary is going to be a different thing. Tag linked boon. I think this is a... And then we pull out duos, which duos we're never going to need to... If they're pre-processed, we're not going to worry about that. So we would want to do it upstream. Well, this gets either way. Extract. So that gets the duos. Having duo would be handy for this. So it is a kind of linked boon. Tag linked god boon, tag linked boon. I guess this is where we do like boon frame from requirements. Trait.requirements. The trait.requirements would list traits. Boon type from group. And we're doing the god of the set. What we care about, the set, god of sets. The god of set's going to be doing the reference to god accumulator. So we actually need something similar to this. Do I... This thing to consider duo. Which has requirements, and there is at least one case of a duo with a requirement that has a requirement. So that would get hit with the legendary filter. And you'd still have to be kind of like redoing the duo requirements. All right, you need gods. Do we care about the god in this? I don't think so. We need gods to look stuff up. Requirements, none. I guess we also consider keepsake. Keepsake frame. So that leaves us with basic boon. I was like, we don't want to override our keepsake frame. One of set. It's boon type from group. Well, if it's a one of, no, that actually could be a pretty common single god thing. So all we care about here is, do any of these traits have requirements? List.map god of set. For all those sets, that would be like a concat map of all the requirements of those things? So requirements of set, oh, set has requirements. So list.map. And this is just an if any true. Oh, this is like a Boolean thing. And I haven't actually defined this frame yet. And you see, we're with this if in both cases. But I'd have to have a priority. I'd have a way of picking frames. I could have a special accumulator that would keep the legendary frame if we had it. List.maps that has requirements, and then could do a straight up fold. Satisfy some test. But then we're back to this. So this is almost a subfunction that's just Boolean. And then you are the if. All right, syntax check. We never defined the function. Set has requirements. Well, you know what? This is got of set, which uses a helper. Which uses this special accumulator. So what are we actually asking here? We need to do the thing. We have a special find boon type here. Now I guess this could be a map and then an accumulator, and the accumulator might be simpler here. Oh, find boon type. Find God boon, maybe dot, okay. Find God boon is helper there. Find boon requirements. I don't actually care about like all the requirements here, but that makes for a nicer function. And UR maybe dot map because we just passing it an ID. Requirements are a type, right? So we have a set. We need a set. That's given a set. A set is a list of things. The list can be mapped. Oh, it is a set though. So what does a set map even mean? Creating a new set with no duplicates. Could just transfer to list, but. Or maybe the translator is part of this, but we do need the accumulator at some point. And you are just supposed to be a bool, basically. So conceptually, we map to requirements. We say, are the requirements empty? What do we call that? Find boon requirements. That makes you a set of requirements. One of the things the requirements can be is none. So that turns it into a Boolean set, which is, this starts to get a little bit weird maybe. empty. So that's set. Does set have the any all? Is empty member. No. So if I did to list on it, I could then do any test. And I don't know if it's actually worth the dedupe here. List.map. List dot, we want to know if it has requirements, if any requirement is not equal to none. And that probably can be expressed as a fold. I mean, actually this is rec, so this could be expressed as find boon requirements not equal to none. That requires a parenthesis, probably. Is not compilable. Requirements. Requirements. Oh, okay. It might not be found. So you would be, what do we care about here? If the boon isn't found, I guess we would treat that as a none. But now we have two things that are actually, that's actually a reasonable answer from here. Legendary requirements. Did I even define this function? It needs arguments if I did. Right, because we just copied this down. Okay, and this will do absolutely nothing. All right, so you only do this for basic boons. We don't have to deal with the duo frame or other frame possibilities there. All right, now that's going to create switches that we have to work. Oh, I guess it's not. We never do a full switch on that. Canvas. Oh, was that actually a view that had to preload? No. It is indeed just legendary. And this kind of turns into a switch. All right, so your legendary's down there. Oh. Okay, so we're doing anything with requirements. We need things that their requirements have requirements. So it's a little bit too simple right now. Also, you're not changing state at all. Oh, maybe you actually do have an additional requirement. What's Okay, so yeah, this just has some extra requirements, I guess. I mean, this probably requires a weak effect and these like modifiers. But oh. Weird. What requirements do you guys have? Okay, so the set has requirements. The things we require have requirements. I must be making an error in this thing. I kind of need to know what we're dealing with, though. It's going to be spammy as all heck. Oh, does shield load ammo have requirements? Zeus Rush, Zeus Secondary, Zeus Shout should not have anything. I guess this is where the intermediate form would have been nicer. A two-step. What are you looking at here? Shield load ammo trait. So I might have to explicitly ignore that. Now that's a one of specifically. Trade ID. Oh, you're a set, aren't you? Is there perchance? Yes. You still need parentheses. Okay, so false. AOE, that feels like it's actually one. It was Poseidon that had 2 legendaries. Okay, so well. Oh, this might get tagged as legendary. Also, we busted something with keepsakes. Missed that. I'd swear I was looking at these at every step. Oh, you know what? This is a signing frame. So it might be this thing. It is this thing. So that means our boon type is not... is not maintaining keepsake. Oh, you're strictly from requirements. I don't pass the boon down here at all. Well, maybe we shouldn't have blown some of these out. We changed nothing. Well... we technically can't short circuit the whole thing. Might explain some of the overriding we had. Don't much care for that special case. Okay, hasn't changed the color. Yeah, so this was labeled legendary in Pony's charts. It might also be labeled legendary in the game. Let's see, what's your other one? It's down here. So you apparently also require, yeah, some slammability. You've got a 2-sided thing. Wait. Why is high tolerance? I probably haven't done Have no, frame is new. I haven't done encoding for this yet. Actually, that would be good because that would give me a way to just browse through all the things that turn into legendary. This is going to be in traits, boon type. Oh, yeah, we haven't done this code yet. Oh, you're a construct. Isn't that different from... Here's a val. And none of these have arguments. Not decode. Looking at the theory. All right. Now the debug stuff in there. Now we can go to generated. Yep, that looks accurate. Vicious cycle, I believe, is correct. Instant chill kill, I believe, is correct. High tolerance. Does Dionysus have some special... so we're looking for a Dionysus ranged trait. Right, this is the stuff it looks up. But how do we not have any Dionysus in here at all? Wait. Oh, that's in the page. Get out of here. Well, I actually need the stuff around this. Thanks. Poseidon ranged. Dionysus range trait, shield load ammo range trait. Oh, because you also work with bow ammo trait. I feel like it'd be dangerous to completely... Well, if I completely ignore those traits, then I have to do something to say... if it's then empty, it's a none. Okay, so bow load ammo only occurs with shield load ammo. It's not a... Well, that is still a thing we have to consider. Now, I'm a little bit bothered, because I pre-calculated this and wrote this out. Why am I running this code again? Did I skip this backwards? Import generated. Okay, import the data. Actually import the data. And then we were looking at generated. Okay, common frame. Nope. Legendary. Second wave sounds right. Divine protection sounds about right. Fully loaded sounds about right. Splitting bolt sounds about right. And we're back to the top. Oh, actually, okay, so that was just like compiler latency or something. Oh, you know what? This is a special case. It's not legendary because it has requirements, which has requirements. It's legendary because it's kind of like from two sides of the god's traits. You have to have his cast and one of his other abilities. So would a one from each set qualify? Unhealthy fixation. Second wave. Oh, huge catch. Are there other... So that's a triple. That's legendary. That's a triple. You're a triple. Those are the only ones of those we have, so maybe it's just a one from each set. Well, there are probably legendaries that are just the recursive, because it basically require more than one trait precursor. Okay, and then these are duos, which are like that. This might just be all duos. Is there anything that wouldn't fit that mold? If there's a legendary that only has a one from set. Okay, well, your two sets, I can see that. Now you see Vicious Cycle is a one of each set. So we could short circuit if it's a one from each set. And then if it's a one of set, which actually we kind of is actually not that bad. And if it's from a one from each set, we can just return true. Because from each set necessarily implies there's more than one thing required. And then the question would be, does that get too much? Legendary. Unhealthy fixation. Vicious Cycle. Demeter. Dionysus. Poseidon Collision. Poseidon Fishing. Athena, Artemis, Zeus, and we're back to Aphrodite. All right, no debugs. Now, one thing I've considered is that maybe you want to see that legendary frame pop up if you get to the point where it's available. Oh, that's just unavailable. Or that duo frame. But right now I'm using the frame as part of the acquired highlighting. That might be a feedback thing. All right, we still need to get the souls in there. That might be I don't even know if I want to do frames for that. Maybe keepsake becomes like other or something. Where are you? Tag linked boons as traits, I think. Boon type from requirements. Tag linked god, no. You. Legendary frames. So this probably is going to work a lot like keepsakes, where we kind of put in some dummy data. And I might have done definitions for these already. Oh, this is displayed in HTML. So it's kind of its own thing. And I'm going to have to, that's data I'm going to have to track down. Or I'm going to track down all the things where it's relevant. And that's required meta upgrade. So we've got auto reload, flurry cast, quick reload, bad news. Bunch of Hermes stuff. Lightning rod. Huh. Yeah, mostly Hermes. And then one. No. Oh, yeah, I guess the plus ammo. No, exit wounds. No, okay, that's by. That's changes by this. It doesn't change by this. Okay, so that. Well, that's going to be in these two chains. So that kind of works. Oh, and then I'll have to do a special layout thing for you. So that has to be, yeah, you're you, and then that chain is that. All right, so it's Hermes. Probably last. So ammo meta upgrade is that one. Oh, that's right, I moved all these. Yeah, we pretty much need to clear the list. They've all moved. Now, this is technically a duo thing. And Zeus might actually have one of these miscellaneous other things in him already. Yeah, but I guess he's dealing with that, so maybe we can put this over here. Perpendicular, length 80. What are you? You're your own little thing. Well, we're not using purple over here, I guess. Okay, perpendicular to you. So probably out there. So arguably, we should have actually just done a different length here. I don't remember what I was doing this for. Should have just been 50. Is that what I did, Zeus? Right on the edge? Yeah, right on the edge. Oh no. We did it out here. So it actually was there. And then we get a text. I think I was putting them in there. And this one is ammo meta upgrade. Oh, right. I'm probably not putting you into this set. Because I've never had to deal with the active set. Never had to deal with meta upgrades before. So you are going to be like unto this stuff. Oh, wait. Oh, trait is reload ammo meta upgrade. No, ammo meta upgrade. Trait equals. I still might not be putting you into the active set. Oh, because you've been like these things which you can't click on. And you probably need like your own frame and yada, 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 yada. Okay, we didn't. Yeah, it's a special name for slot. Okay, so we've got some definition there, probably when we select this. Oh, so if this is this set, then active traits would technically include that. If we want to be using the existing mechanics. Now, did I do something special for you? I might have done something special for you. All right, we have none of this. So this is probably, we'll just stick it in there. Okay, it's not looking that trait data up. Oh, do I have to? No, because like this, it's in anywhere. So actually, I mean, there was something I did for that. So if we go, okay, so actually, you need to be. You need to be linked, and I think it was just like misc. Yeah. That will just improve our color, though. Or change our color. What did I do for the any's? Update derived status. Oh, active slots is its own thing. Does that mean we should be doing like active meta upgrade? Okay, so it's not you. You don't care. We just have boon chart just has starts with any. Okay. This means we didn't find it. If it starts with any, so we're cheesing this a little bit. But these are going to be meta. So we've actually kind of got data for these. But we're not making icons for those, I guess. Yeah, because we're actually working from the layout now. Which I guess means none of that stuff helps us. I was afraid this could turn into more of a process. Actually, can I do an ends with on this? Ammo meta upgrade, reload ammo meta upgrade. So I think we technically have a trait for this. Wait, find boon. In all traits. Should you not find this? And I actually wanted to know which one we were searching for. Okay, and everything loaded in here. This is boon chart, so this could actually use ammo meta upgrade, nothing. Why don't we find you? All traits, filter by has ID. Oh, does all traits... Those are like MISC. Did I leave that out on purpose? Okay, so we need to do some framing, but it's there. It's... Huh. So urine is a direct, urine is a reference. I guess that's smaller, right? Or maybe I'm doing something special with those slot ones. And then we're not adjusting this as we do stuff. So that's the proof of concept. If we go back to ammo meta upgrade, so slot, boon type, frame. Would you just be like keepsake frame? Which maybe we need to rename as other frame. Okay, well, we can't put it back, but seemed maybe promising. Meta upgrade. Slot equals soul. Is just select slot. Oh, this is select the slot in general. Um, we already said it removing it. Select soul. Select keepsake. You do go through select boon? Is that just it? No, that is not just it. Oh, active traits. Boons for a slot, list.map, set.fromList. Wait, select keepsake. Set.diff. Okay, so that does the remove. Huh, why does that actually remove it? Did it maybe like self-require its meta upgrade? Set.member. So is derived status doing something here? Update Poseidon drop. Slot traits. Okay, so we were actually... Oh, I was actually doing this as the slots as a derived thing. So we're doing, so we're not updating boon stats is probably what it is. Although if we did set boon. Anyway, this might make sense since we're going off another thing. And this is only going to be meta upgrade. Slot traits. You're a union. We could keep on unioning you. Active basic groups. Oh, we have to include groups too. And boon status. Active traits. I don't entirely want to throw this out, but I don't think this might be a problem for their time. Okay, so yes, we have all the data, which I don't care about right now. Okay, debug.log, don't care. We had switched to that. Not a big deal. We had changed your frame, included misboons. Not a big deal to figure that out before. Oh, are you gonna cause problems? Because we were doing layout primary. Yes, you would. think. Found one module. Yes, you do. So I guess that's one little gotcha. The light prime, you can't. Kind of hard to have these things just kind of hanging around and for testing. All right, we have souls as a to-do item. But right now I want to have lunch. So that's what I'm usually on. I usually get hungry around now. Let's see if there's anything going on. But thanks for watching. Thanks for support from subscribers, voluntary and otherwise. Let's see. Well, there's some give dubs that's starting soon. If you're looking for some place cool to hang out. Oop, and they're all a little past starting soon now. Took and Wig are starting some co-game development. And that's someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye, and until next time.